Success.
Yes.
Awesome.
I'm going to find some headphones.
Cool.
How's it going, guys?
Hey, Jay. I think we have a quorum.
What is it?
I think that this is all it's going to be this evening. So.
Now, what is this we're looking at?
So I wanted to talk a little bit about how the server, the back end, is going to work for our site or our application, and I thought this chart might be a little bit helpful. All things we should have learned in school.
Oh, yeah.
What? Learning in school?
So there's basically like these top 4 guys here. Oh, I shouldn't push that. The get, post, put, and delete methods are the most common HTTP request or REST style methods that are out there. And so the way we're going to write the back end is basically to create an API that our own front end will be a consumer of. So I don't know, does that make any sense to anybody, or am I just talking lingo?
I believe it makes sense.
Yeah, so the idea is, this is how like modern, basically the last 2 weeks I haven't really written much on our back end, but I've just been doing a bunch of research on how people are actually writing this stuff. And so generally what's happening now is people are writing their back end as an API, which means it has a very standard way of interacting with it through HTTP requests. And so in Backbone, built into the framework, is a way of interacting with a REST-style HTTP system. So basically, when you say like collection in Backbone, when you say like collection.fetch, that automatically gets translated into a GET request on the to the server. So it's kind of designed to do that. So basically, yeah, we got to just figure out. So the back end, when you hit like when you make a GET request, let's say as an example, we have an exercise URL, like a link you can go to that will return information about exercises, right? Like a list of exercises with some other stuff. All you're going to have to do is do a GET request with the right headers to that URL, and it'll return that data. So basically, we're just passing JSON data from the server to the back end, and from the back end to the front end, and then the front end will turn that into a website, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. You should, if you want to mess around with this stuff, this is like a pretty cool little application here. So it's called Postman. It's built into Chrome somehow, and it's free. So Postman, yeah. So you, like, for example, if we go to google.com and we make a GET request just to google.com, I don't know if this will work. We get this.
Yeah.
Very helpful. Which is actually the main, this is all the code that runs the main website for Google, right? So like some of the stuff looks like HTML, other of it is super compressed scripts that are pretty much unreadable. And that's Google. And let's look what it looks like in preview. See, and then you hit preview and you can see what it looks like. So even browsing the internet is basically just making GET requests and moving from page to page. Pretty cool. And then what you don't see are like these. So like this is for my work. These headers kind of hold my username and password so that I can make these requests to our server and get back. Maybe I'll see if I can think of a URL that I can try here. So you guys can see what I'm talking about. Alright, so we go to the. How you like my my console there? Dark themed. Huh? Oh, like that. So if you go to the network panel in whatever browser you're using, you can see all the requests that will be made. So like let me Alright, so I'm gonna put here and get data. Alright, so that should have made some requests, hopefully. Oh yeah, so we got all these. So these XHR guys are like AJAX requests, basically. So if we hover on one of them, you can see the different URLs that are being called and what the status is and all this kind of stuff. So we can duplicate any of these. For example, this guy. Let me see if I can copy it. Copy. No, I don't want to do that. Sorry. Copy. Anyway, this will be helpful in debugging our application. Oh, Jesus. That was a bit of a long one. Just chop. Oh. Page, sort, filter, fields, blah, 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 estimate. There. Let's see what we get. Didn't like something about it. Oh, I got this. Boom. Oh. Well, that's not awesome, but it's some JSON type thing that we're getting back from that.
Yep. Result.
So that's basically how we'll be writing the back end. I did do a little bit of work. I don't even know where that is right now, actually. So generally, like you can have, let's just pretend for an example, as an example, right? We can have for our website, right? We might have a, HTTP : WODmod /API /exercises, right? And then if we just hit get on this, it'll return, like some kind of JSON object that is all of the various exercises and whatever else we attach to those. And then if we did the same thing, exercises / ID equals 1111, then we'd get the one exercise that's associated with that ID. That makes sense. And similarly, we could make a put request or a post request and add things to the server, right? So we could say, save this exercise, or save these results, or save these whatever. And then obviously delete's kind of obvious, and that's really it. Put post, get, and delete. Boom. I'm trying to think if I know any other APIs we could call. The cool thing about this is, like, whenever I don't know if you've ever messed around with this stuff and you're like, you get one of those authorization chains. You know, that's a pain in the butt. You know what I'm talking about? Like if you sign up for an API, sometimes they give you a key. Anyway, in Postman, you can just store that key up here, and then it's like always there and just hangs out and waits for it to be used. Oh yeah, so you can see all these different. Let's see what this one does. All these different ones. So here's a different data collection that gets sent back. So look at it, pretty print. Ooh, yeah, that looks good. And you can see it's just a list of objects, right? So here's one object, and here's another object. And then each has an ID associated with them, and then there's these empty arrays that, you know, if things were set up differently, they could have stuff in there, and blah, blah, blah. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah.
Cool. So, I don't know, did either of you guys work on the project?
I looked at stuff, but me and Matt were on 2 different schedules.
You worked on the backbone stuff?
I was reading on the book. I've got another book ordered, so
Oh, yeah.
the whole there's a Backbone for Dummies version. That's
Yeah.
not good. I don't like it. I won't be ready.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm feeling like I have all these ideas for different little things that our app could do, and I think it might be time to spend a little bit of energy like writing down all the different ideas we have, and then actually saying which one's like the highest priority, you know, and then actually starting with just one idea. Because I mean, this could, you know, we could store workout data, we could do biometrics. I mean, there's like, it could go in any direction.
Right.
So.
You want to get
I'm sorry?
You just want to get a focus on something?
Yeah, I mean, see what people are interested in working on. I mean, I'm just trying to make it more realistic. Like at my work, for example, there's a planning session. You know that there's usually about a week of planning that goes on before they do like any big new thing. And basically, people are like offering up like, oh, wouldn't it be great if we had this feature, or wouldn't it be great if X, Y, and Z, or we really need to repair this area or whatever. And all that stuff gets written down, and then they literally write it all in poster notes, and then they go through and like rank it, you know, and then group things and prioritize them, because there's only like 20 of us, right? So like we can get a lot of one thing done, or we can get a very little bit of a lot of things done, you know. The other thing about this whole, the idea of the REST API that I think is kind of cool is if we can figure out what the data is, we can write the back end independently of the front end. And similarly, you can write the front end as long as you know what the data is going to be handed to you. The only thing you have to know is what that JSON is going to look like.
Right.
So,
You want to start with like the back end, because I think everyone here is somewhat comfortable with the front end stuff, at least somewhere in some way.
right.
I do want to learn more about JSON.
Yep.
A little bit of Ajax when we're in school.
Yeah, not much.
I can't remember that teacher's name, but he helped me out a little bit of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can focus on doing that kind of thing where we store a database.
Yeah.
Start small. I mean, nothing has to be big.
No, yeah, no. I mean, I've written a little bit of our back end, and to get something very crude up and running is not that hard. I think honestly, once you start writing it, it'll become like pretty simple.
Yeah.
It's pretty repetitive, honestly. It's like.
Yeah, question. Everyone at your job, and this goes to you, Paul, too. Is everyone using Macs?
Yeah, we all use Macs. Well, some of the back-end guys use Unix machines, but I would say at least 95%.
I haven't worked at a place where they haven't primarily used Macs. The last place I worked, there was one guy who was hired on who is a much more advanced developer who transitioned onto a Mac but came in working on a PC. So
knowing you guys and what you're doing, but half the things that we're trying, I can't
Can't get them to work.
Yeah, and I'd have
So,
to install a whole new system.
I forget, are you running Windows or are you running Unix or Linux? Sorry?
Ubuntu.
Oh,
I'll be back. Let's use the restroom.
okay. I don't think that should be, I think that shouldn't be very limiting, actually, for what we're... What is the browser that you use in Ubuntu? Do they have Chrome?
No, they have Firefox. There's ways of getting Chrome. It's not very easy. I don't know why, of all things, Chrome should be pretty easy to use on Linux.
Yeah, I don't know anything about. I used to. I mean, my Linux, my terminal skills have gotten a lot better since I started working at this company. I mean, I can fly around, my computer now.
Well, I feel more comfortable if I could ask you questions, and be on the same computer as you and Paul. I really enjoy Linux, but it's putting a dampener on my abilities and what we're trying to focus on. Because at the end of the day, I look at my computer and I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah, but the other, I mean, I would have never bought one of these things. It was just that my company handed it to me, and I'm like, sweet. You know what I mean? Sorry?
You already had one. One from school.
Well, I mean, I had like a 8-year-old model that I got for $300.
That still works.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, for programming it was awesome because none of this stuff is very system intensive,
No, not at all. I think that's what I'm gonna look online and see if hopefully I can rely on someone to sell me a good laptop, or unless I just go buy a new one.
Yeah. Yeah, the new ones, even with like I mean, I had a friend that used to work at Apple, and I think he got like 10%. I think that's the best you're ever gonna do.
If I go to Apple myself, I get a discount to the Verizon.
Right.
I also get a discount to the military, so that might help out. It's not much though.
Yeah, I mean they're expensive, man. I mean, I just bought a car that costs like almost as much as my laptop. It's like.
Golly.
So.
You gotta have money for it.
Yeah.
That's down to what you guys are doing. I'm familiar a little bit with the command line, but not as much as you guys.
Well, it's just that I get to do it all day now. I mean, I've gotten a lot faster. Like Git, man, that used to be such a mystery.
Now you're just like, really?
Yeah, now it seems. I mean, I use it 30 times, 40 times a day. So like.
You just get push.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. There's always, and then make this little change, and then I mean, that's what we do.
Yeah. I need to get somewhere where I'm more experienced and get into there. I'm not going to Verizon thing much longer. I went for a manager position today in an interview, and I just about walked out of the room. I was like, okay.
All done.
Like, yeah, I went for like they asked me, what do you see yourself in 5 years? I'm like, not here.
You can't say that on an interview, right?
Yeah. That was my mistake. I was like, something hit me. I was like, oh, not here. I don't.
Yeah. Jesus, not here. Yeah.
What do you guys think? You're hired? No. I'm gonna see you later. I went back to work.
I have a younger brother that's trying to start a boot camp in New York. So.
It could work out. It's another booming place for this stuff.
Oh yeah.
They're looking at teaching computer science in school now. So
yeah.
That's gonna be kind of cool for the kids.
Yeah.
That's why I need to get a job soon before they beat me.
Yeah. The 6-year-olds start out programming us.
You see Matt's my niece, Matt's daughter, Jordan. He's going to be teaching her Python here pretty soon.
Yeah, they have a lot. You know, I noticed that for some reason there's a lot of like teach your kids Python books. Like it's the one language that they're just like, sure, teach a 5-year-old. And you're like, what?
Yeah, it'd be great.
I saw a cool. I actually made a game in it, but there's something called I think it's called Scratch that MIT made that was like specifically for kids, where you don't even have to know how to read to program in it. It's all like visually based pieces, but you can do like loops and crazy stuff.
That would be kind of neat. I need to get better folks and really put my nose to the pages.
Yeah, it's. I mean, you know, the more hours you can squeeze in, the better, because this stuff is complicated.
I think I might go for UI UX in Vancouver just to try it out for a while. Or,
I didn't hear what you said.
you know, like with UI UX designer.
Yeah.
Like it. They got internships up here at like HP and whatnot.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome, dude. The guy who does UX for us is amazing.
You like his job?
I think so.
Okay.
I mean, it's hard to tell. A lot of these guys don't, you know. He's a super nice guy, and like, I think he works out of his house in San Francisco. He lives in the Bay Area, and he occasionally flies somewhere, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it seems to me like his day is like he either has some huge thing that he has to work on that takes up all his time, or he has nothing, and he gets paid either way. So like, he's probably doing a lot of skiing, you know.
I like skiing. All right, let's go ahead and get back to what we're doing.
All right, so I mean, it's basically the 4 of us and possibly Jesse that have shown like any interest in this at all moving forward. You know, I'm wondering if it makes more sense for all of us to just work on one side of things rather than trying to split between front end or back end.
Okay.
My thought on this is, like, I want to learn more of the back end stuff just so I have a better grasp on it. And these, like I don't really know what to necessarily do. Well, first and foremost, like, my schedule is like just crazy right now. It's like I don't really know when jobs are going to come in, and it's like, you know, when it rains it pours. But it's pouring right now, which is good. But it's also making it a little bit difficult for me to find time to do some of this other stuff. Matt had kind of pushed me in the direction of creating the look for it, but I feel like it's hard to create a look for it if I don't really know how the application is fully going to work.
Yeah.
And so
I think it makes a lot of sense just based on you and Jay and me and Matt all are interested in learning the back end, and we could just start there. And I think when we move to the front end, there'll be a lot better understanding of what we're doing, you know, because we will have built the thing that we're interfacing with. So
better idea. We don't have any foundation. The foundation is the back end, so let's go ahead and and we're going to use back end, right?
So I'm going to put up some, because I've learned a little bit of Node in the last couple weeks, and I found a couple different resources helpful. One of them is like a little bit challenging, or actually pretty challenging, but if you get through this tutorial, you're like, you kind of get it. The tricky thing at first when you're learning Node and how this code works is getting your head around the asynchronous nature of it. And I don't know if you guys have dealt with that, but like, it can be really confusing. Because basically what happens is you think, you know, you write your code in like, we've been trained to write in sort of like a top to bottom linear fashion, and you don't realize that it's not waiting to finish any of the code that you've written before going to the next piece of code. So sometimes things will happen before they're ready to happen. That makes sense.
It jumps around.
Doesn't jump around so much. We'll talk about. I'll write up some examples because it's pretty.
Is it like closure kind of stuff?
Sorry?
Like, is it kind of like closure where it kind of jumps up to the parent?
Well, it's I haven't messed around with Clojure. So basically in asynchronous JavaScript, everything is, or a node, everything has like a callback function or multiple functions. So what happens is you'll call some method that takes as one of its parameters another function. And basically what happens is whatever is going on in that method you called, only when it finishes will it run the function that you passed to it. So if you want anything to happen after that, let's say you're making an AJAX call. If you want things to happen after that, then they have to be called from inside of the callback function, or else they'll just try and fire off right away. You know, it'll make a lot more sense with some examples. So don't. It's just.
Yeah, I got something in mind. Go ahead.
Yeah. So everything is. I mean, I can. Let me just pull up. I'll make an example. It's not that ridiculous.
Okay.
Okay. Hold on.
I was just trying to think of like a real life example, like what would you see on like a web page and such. And it makes me think of like.
Whoops.
I don't know.
Let's go to this. Sorry. All right. So, look, we're in Node. Hey, look at that.
Hey.
Amazing. So this is just like it's just JavaScript, right? So we can say. All right. So if let's say I have a function, I say function something whatever, doesn't matter. Oh, this is gonna suck because it's all one line.
Yeah. No, don't, you don't have to do that. Just maybe a little bit difficult.
Yeah, it's tiny too.
We might be able to catch on just going with it.
Yeah. So, but we'll get going with it. And the other thing is the free code camp. Have you guys looked at this stuff at all?
Yeah. Is it on there? Node.js?
Yeah. So I think so.
Is
I
it
think
now?
they have a. Let me see.
It wasn't on there last time I looked.
So their site is like not that awesome. Basic scripting, because I think they have a whole back-end thing now. Yeah, so right here they have
Yep. Okay, no, I got the email for that, so I guess I did see it, yeah.
Node and Express, and then there's also this, the MongoDB, which both of these will be helpful for what we're trying to do. So if you go down, let's see, they even have a Chrome. This Chrome Tools thing kind of sucks though.
They're trying.
What?
But they're trying.
To learn Chrome Tools, or?
No, I'm saying they're trying to put things up there. Like they're doing really well for them tutorials.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. But I mean, they're so like doing any of these would be super helpful. Starting a server, like just actually. So this might be an option for you, Jay. Is that using something like this Cloud9 service?
Yeah.
It's basically like web-based. I haven't really looked at it, but I think they do this. They have all this Cloud9 stuff here, so people using any kind of platform can share code. So we can really actually look at this.
I think I will, yeah. I'll go with that. I got my free code camp account still.
So we'll do this. This Learn You Node thing is no joke. It's hard. I'm totally happy to pair program. In fact, I think we should make it a requirement that people who want to work on the back end have to pair program or get this.
Well, that's what I was gonna say earlier when I was talking or explaining my situation. Like before, Oliver, when you and I did a little bit of JavaScript pair programming, like it really helped you just explain well. But sometimes, like, if you're just kind of like, if you have the code on the screen and you're typing and kind of explaining as you go along, it's like if I do that and I follow along and just ask questions when I get confused, that helps me learn it really fast, actually.
Cool.
Well, really fast is strong, but faster.
Yeah, I've done all these challenges, so I'm happy to help with anybody with these. And I found this was a super challenging. I mean, it starts off really easy, but it gets challenging pretty quickly after like the first 4, and like banging your head against them a little bit is actually super helpful for figuring this stuff out. So I think.
Wow, they've added a lot to this since I was on here.
Oh yeah, it's there's so much stuff. It's hard to even navigate. Like, it's gotten kind of crazy. So we have another 2 weeks here, basically, until I think our next meeting. I think we're spacing them out every 2 weeks. And I'd like to see us make some progress on the back end. So.
What do you guys do on Thursday? Like, during the day, is anyone available to pair?
No, Thursday I'm pretty swamped, actually.
Okay. I might be, because I mean, we'll just have to play it by ear. But I'll be on what was our thing, Slack, if necessary.
Okay. Just if you find, I'll ask.
What was that?
I'll just put on there when I'm on Thursday.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe we should make an app for getting together to make an app.
So, quick question, Oliver.
Yeah.
So, if I haven't quite gotten through all of the front end stuff,
who cares?
Well, I'm just saying, like, do you think it's important to finish there? Because I haven't gone through the JSON API and AJAX stuff.
Well, for the back end, there won't be any of that. So.
Okay.
Well, JSON is gonna take no time at all. AJAX is. I don't know. I haven't done their AJAX tutorial. I don't know. I think it's probably best just to concentrate on back-end JavaScript. Whatever form that takes.
All right. Yeah, I need to start putting like an hour a day, if I can, back into doing this stuff. I fell off of it, and I've just been focusing on WordPress.
Yeah. No, I get you. I mean, WordPress is moving to JavaScript too, so.
People keep telling me that, but I haven't seen any evidence.
They still have 800 million sites written in PHP. I think you'll be okay for a while.
Yeah.
Okay, goals for this next 2 weeks, I guess, is just making progress on back-end, either knowledge or actual coding. So
this week, or come back together in 2 weeks and kind of get something started on back-end.
Well, hopefully, yeah. If everybody could be like through this Learn You Node class, that would be awesome. Because then.
Which one are you talking about? The one on CodeCamp?
This, if you just on your terminal for Paul, this probably won't work for you. If you just type that in, you'll install this walkthrough called Learn You Node.
Wait, go back to that page.
I'm on it.
Oh, challenges.
Just click on my box if it's not staying up. So basically, number 9 there.
Yeah.
And number 10 are the only two you have to. You can do that in your terminal.
Okay.
You can do it right now. Let me show you.
Challenges. Start a Node.js server.
Yeah, so just open a terminal and type sudo npm install -g learn you node.
Okay,
Can
there we go.
Jay, can you use NPM? You
I
can?
think I've tried it before. I don't think I can. Hold on. Let's see.
I have so many things open right now. So many things. Do I need them all open? I don't.
That's why you need 3 monitors.
Oh, it's not a matter of 3 monitors. I think that would make my eyes bleed.
It gets painful sometimes.
I worked with 2.
I have the perfect app for you, though, I think. If you're like me. You're like the million tabs guy.
I'm getting worse about it.
Because I have this, where did it go? Oh, yeah. It's called One Tab.
Whoa, it's working. Whoa.
Did it load?
Well, I think it is. This goes NPM, man. I'm just getting a bunch of stuff.
Cool.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, I'm getting a bunch of yellow and red. No.
Failure.
Wait. Yeah, I think it did.
So just type learn you node right after that.
But it's asking for our password.
Well, that's if you type sudo, it'll ask for your password.
Yeah.
I typed it in and
did not work. Well,
oh,
hold
there
on.
we go. There it goes.
So,
Learn you node. There's like there's a bunch of these, aren't there? The npm install, like learn various different things.
Yeah. So the website that puts these out is called Nodes, or I think they're called, what the hell are they called? Node School IO. It's Node School.io.
you know.
So if you scroll down, you see they have Java, script, Git, NPM.
Yeah, I went through the Git one and I quit about 5 questions in because I didn't understand it. I just got mad.
That's why I'm saying these are not easy, but there's a lot. You learn a lot through it. You know, I struggled for sure. So, but what do you learn if everything's just like, oh yeah, that was easy?
Yeah, stick with you.
You learn how to take the easy road.
I think there's even they have a learn you Mongo too.
How's it how do you run it? Is just learn you node?
Learn you node.
Yep.
I'll show you on my terminal.
Did you actually have to go into its like file or something like that, or did you just learn you node?
Learn you node. Boom. Did you use the -G flag?
What?
When you installed it, did you use the -G flag? Yeah. Try doing it again without the -G.
Let's see. Write a program that prints the text "Hello World" to the console. You can write the console in the same way as in the browser. So you just write console log.
Did not work.
You can probably Google.
Yeah, I want
Syntax error. What? Oh. Okay.
It wasn't that easy, was it?
I assumed it wouldn't be.
Yep, that's.
Oh, you have to create a file. Oh, okay. You have to do you have to create a folder to hold all this crap? File the JS extension.
Well, there's this whole long.
Yep, one right now.
All right. Just out of curiosity, Oliver, when you did this, did you make a folder called Learn You Node or something, and use it for the stuff?
I believe I did. Let me look.
Okay.
I did.
Probably kind of a silly question to ask, but I'm
So
doing God and ask anyway.
It's not a silly question. So what I have on my computer is I have a directory at the root called projects. I have another one called development. And so like projects is for all my personal stuff, and development is all for my work stuff. So I have, if I do, then you know, yeah, I have a folder. And look, oh, there they are, all my exercise files.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Can I make one? No. Can I make one here? What's the easiest way to do that?
MKDIR, folder name.
Okay, new folder.
So I
Projects.
might stop the broadcast since I think we're just moving into the work phase.
Oh, you can do that. Yeah, I'm just reading up on this now.
No, I mean I'm happy to help, but I'm thinking if anybody comes along and watches this, they're going to get a little bit bored around the.
Nonsense.
But if I hit stop broadcasting, will it kick you guys out, or will it just stop broadcasting?
It's okay if it does. Well, if I have questions, I'll ask. There's a long forum talking about this format. That's all I'm saying.
So this, yeah, I mean,
they want me to build it from source.
if you scroll down to the very last one here that I'm looking at, that might be the best because it's got 2015 written on there.
Oh, May 16th? Hi all, seems like I've solved this issue.
Yeah.
Alright, so got that in place. Now I want to name it Learn You Node, yo. Alright, and now within Learn You Node, I'm going to do Hello World.
So also, Matt, Jay, another solution is if you look at the Free Code Camp website where they have that.
Yeah.
They have instructions here for doing it on Cloud 9, which will avoid having to deal with your issues at all.
Yeah.
I know that's not ideal. It's better to get your machine working right, but I'm saying if you do get stuck, you can. And then I think you can also just go to this Git repository and probably just download the whole thing, right? And then just.
Yeah.
Oh, bother. Where did I put that? Huh?
You guys will soon know what they were talking about when they say callback hell.
Callback hell. No. I'm just gonna go to Free Code Camp and do this. There it goes. I'm just on fast. Learn to code and help nonprofits. Okay.
Well, they got a good business model, I think.
Yeah. I agree.
Cool.
Oh boy. Pardon me.
We can stop sharing.
Alright, that's good. If we get pushed off, that's okay. I will email you or put it in Slack if I have questions.
So I have one other idea I want to run by you guys before we leave, which is at work we have something every day called a stand-up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which is
I've done those.
Yeah, so the idea is you take like less than a minute and you say basically, what I did yesterday was this, what I plan to do today is this, and then you do that every day, basically. And the reason for doing that is it's supposed to, if you're blocked in any way, you say, oh, I'm supposed to be doing this, but I'm blocked because of X, Y, and Z, and then the idea is the people you're meeting with help you to get unblocked. And also, it also tracks your own progress, right? Because like, if you're like, well, today I'm going to try and get this done, and the next day you're like, okay, I made no progress on that. You know. The reason, my point I guess I'm wondering how you guys feel about doing something like that virtually, where maybe every 2 days or every 3 days or something, we just have it, you know.
To keep us more accountable.
Yeah, and just everybody has to just check in on the Slack channel and say, yesterday I worked or I did whatever, and today I'm hoping to get to X, Y, and Z. And then, I think just even by saying that in the channel, it'll keep people a little bit more motivated, right? I don't know.
Nonsense.
So if you guys want to give that a whirl,
yeah.
So what do you think? Should we do every other day, every day? I guess every day.
Let's start slow at first, because.
Yeah. All right. Let's do every. I don't want to do so slow that we just miss them.
No, it's not do 2 weeks thing. It's not do. If we do like.
Well, it makes the whole 2 week thing work, right? Because if we're checking in every other day, then we don't really need as many meetings.
I'm saying like not checking in every 2 weeks. I'm saying like let's check in with like I agree,
Right.
2 or 3 days.
Right. And it can literally just be 2 sentences, So it's not supposed to be some burdensome task,
True.
So let's just say every 2 days.
Okay.
And then we can adjust after. So today is Tuesday, so we'll consider this our check-in, and then so we'll say on Thursday will be our first check-in.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Your submission results compared to the expected actual hello world. It doesn't match the all uppercase hello world.
Well, yeah, you got there's only one right answer on that whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah, this is gonna be fun.
Well, the other thing we can do is for something like this is when everybody's done with the first challenge or whatever, we can actually do a code review.
Yeah.
I think making this more interactive where people say, okay, here's how I did it, and somebody else is like, here's how I did it, and then we can be like, oh, that's kind of cool, or,
Yeah, we can compare.
All right. Hello world success.
Nice.
I like that idea. We can do that.
I mean, once we get moving, let's see how the every other day check-in comes out.
All right. To proceed, your program will be tested, a report will be generated, and the lesson will be marked complete. I don't want to print it. Your program. To verify, yeah. So.
If you verify it, then you just type learn new node, and it should have the next one open.
Oh, okay. I figured that was the case. Learn new node, baby steps, boom.
All right, guys. I think that's our hour, so I'm gonna stop the broadcast here.
Okay.
I'm gonna go eat some pudding.
I'll do some write-up probably tomorrow, so that we're gonna go to the channel.
So where are we just gonna, you say like Slack?
It's a Slack up, yeah.
Okay, then I was planning on. I was gonna make a note of that in my calendar.
Yeah, that would be good. Have a repeating note every other day for life.
For life. Okay, let's see here. Wait, well, I'm trying to remember. What is it called?
Stand up.
Stand. Isn't there another word for it, or is it just simply stand up?
I'm sure lots of different places have their own.
All right.
Thing.
Stand up via Slack about node progress.
Yeah, so it'll be what did you do since we last met, and what do you plan to do until we next meet?
Oh,
and
gotcha.
If you're working, then it's just I'm working, and I was working, and I will be working. The end.
Yeah. That is correct.
I have friends coming into town, and I will be
Let's do Monday, Wednesday, Friday.